Doug, so you've been at the local TV operations management for many years now, and it's what's exciting for you now in terms of what we call convergence, that the opportunities to not just do what you've been doing, but do more across screens, across platforms. Um, what is convergence? What's the hope of convergence mean to you and to the Meredith Group?
It is. I'll give you two examples. One, for a long time, we've been selling off of rating points, and we're the only media that's doing it. Most everybody else has been on impressions, and we've been doing rating points for a long time. And we're in the process, like everybody else is, the agencies and other TV stations, of switching to impressions. So, in the old world, I look at it that every other media was like going to the grocery store and buying different kinds of apples. You could buy an Empire, you could buy a Delicious, you could buy whatever, but they're all apples. And then you go over and there's a big pile of watermelons. That's local media, because we were different and it was hard to compare us to other media. So switching to impressions is going to be a big first step so that we can be in the apple bin at the grocery store. But convergence, secondly, is opportunity. It's not coming together. It's us taking our content and expanding it in different directions and being able to monetize it in different ways. In the past, a long time ago, we monetized it one way, and then we had websites, and then we have mobile apps, and now we're getting into OTT, and what other things can we set up that uses and reuses all the content that we create in the local markets.
What about convergence in terms of ad sales and selling, you know, typically outside the local advertiser, which is fine, to make that more efficient, to make it easier for them, and to also make local attractive to national advertisers. How are you changing that opportunity, that technology?
Um, yeah, it is going to impressions as the first step, and then using the technology that's being created. There's different software providers. We use WideOrbit, like most people use WideOrbit, and but they can attach themselves to almost anything and make it easier to buy local. In the past, if you think about it, if somebody wanted to do a national buy, they could go to a network or a cable network and in one negotiation buy the entire country. But if you wanted to do even a regional buy or a national buy in TV, you have to buy, a regional buy 25, 30, 40 markets. And then you got to have 4 or 5 or 6 negotiations inside those markets. We made it about as difficult to buy local as we can, and coming together with impressions and with technology, you're still going to have to do some of that, but it's going to be much easier, where instead of having negotiations, you can push buttons and on computers and get it. So it's a really exciting time, that we want to try to make it easy to buy local TV for the national agencies.
And Doug, it's been a wild year, this year of the pandemic. Big changes for TV. What's changed for local, and what's your perspective from Meredith?
Um, the hardest thing with COVID is if you'd asked me a year ago if we could um, do a newscast remotely with nobody in the TV stations, I would have laughed at you. And the country kind of shut down the middle of March, and within a week we figured out how to do it. And so we've been able to run our business remotely, and we've actually learned some things that going forward, it's more efficient for some people to be working remotely at the station. But on the negative side, there's not as much collaboration and moving forward as we'd like. That we figured out how to do it, but where you'd meet somebody in the hallway and say, hey, I got a problem, what about this? Or you have a impromptu meeting with 3 or 4 people to figure out a problem, or you sit down. Zoom calls are great, but it's really hard to do that kind of thing. And we're starting to force ourselves to do it on Zoom calls, but we're hopeful the vaccine, becomes effective and we can, I won't say get back to a more normal, but have people in the same room doing those sorts of things and thinking about where our business needs to be 2 or 3 years from now.
And Doug, finally, I wanted to ask about, OTT and Meredith, and I know that you guys are working that out. You're a big group. What is the vision around OTT? What do you think it will do, and will it catalyze local stations? Will it enhance them? What's the business use case as you see it?
I'll take the negative of that first, and then I'll answer your question. We have to provide our content to where viewers want to consume it, and OTT is a new sexy thing, and it's in its infancy, but we need to be there and be testing and trying and doing research with our viewers to see what they want to consume, how they want to consume it, and when they want to consume it. And there's still a good business for a linear business like a TV station. Our ratings are still strong. We have the biggest audiences that there are. But people want to consume things when they want to consume them, and we need to be there to doing it. So that's the first part of the question. The second part, we're experimenting, we're trying, we're launching some things, we're learning what works, we're learning what doesn't work, and we're getting our staff to think that it's more than just a linear business and a website business of how do we grow and expand. And our if you look at the demographics of a typical TV station, it's older. I mean, people are older, and there's a whole younger audience that we learned during the pandemic. They know who we are, they trust our brands, they find us, but they on a day-to-day basis don't consume us. And it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you talk to kids in their 20s, they don't read newspapers. They never read a newspaper, and they rarely watch television. But when there was need for them to consume and understand what was going on with COVID, they actually came to the TV station. Well, how can we figure out how those people want to consume stuff on a day-to-day basis, and then provide them in the form that they want to do it? So it gives us a lot of opportunities into the future with this new technology that's coming.
And Doug, if you were going to NAB, which it's probably not going to happen this year, and you looked at innovation and you looked at your colleagues, what would you hope innovation would look like for local TV?
People generally don't like change, and we're in a business now that we have to change. And so those that I work with, that's what I'm preaching, is we need to think differently. We need to try things, and failure isn't having things not work. Failure now is not trying new things. And if our company has 10 new ideas and 3 of them work, I'm not going to kick and scream at the 7 that didn't work out. We learned something from our mistakes and can go in, but we found 3 things that work, and we can use into the future. So I think people who are more change agents are going to be a lot more successful in our business in the future, because we have to be.